Hero's most played agent historically is actually Raze, even though maybe not at like the highest level.
Navi on defense, Apex on attack.
I think there's much more
Darker?
potential.
Yeah, we
if
said
you've got to
Darker.
switch things up.
Kayak?
Why not go for something
Kayak
more
Sop's
aggressive?
pretty good.
They have the players to do
Chat
it.
stop saying both
Koala
stuff.
Noob, I think, has easily proven that he
Both
is
is
someone that
not
could
bad,
go
but
toe-to-toe with anyone in the server.
It's not.
Give him the weaponry to do so.
It's not best
Not
in
again
the
seeing Navi go back to the
region.
drawing board, and like you said, not looking to do anything overcomplicated. Well, looking at the split from last game, it's
Mate, you can't get hit by this, bro. Think about it.
Nice opening.
I think you gotta. I do think he has to respect the drone in this chamber. You gotta find a good line of respecting the drone, because if you get hit by that suppress, you're actually done for.
Nobody close by, caught by the stun, but his smoke gives him a little bit of free space to play with, and he's ready for this backside wrap. Catching the first at least, but going down after.
It's a great fade either.
Hero might just have recovered this.
And a solid
I love the call here. Mid-round call's nice from Apex. Realize that they can't really force over towards A. Open the door to create pressure like he might have walked out through door. That's unlucky. It was smart from Governor.
Towards that C site. The problem is with Governor going down, they now sit with a disadvantage. Batu even trying to find.
Yeah, I liked all of these decisions made, to be honest, from the 3v3 from Apex.
This is now a winnable position, even though the HP is
some low
very
HPs
low
though. Hero should clean this up.
Coming back on for Malzy and a flash as well with
Injo
low
gets a
HP
fade eye.
And the utility they have, it's difficult to run the clock down. They have some reactive utility for the deep control. Batu.
Okay, creates a little pressure for the guy Heaven though.
Spawn, but now has a chance to dive
Hero's on top of this.
Caught by surprise though. Navi covering all their bases. Malzy on the walk around. He might just have caught some beautiful timing. They're still expecting to be down below, but the shot fired a little too early. Nice connection. And it was down close in the end. 15 HP. But it's enough for Navi to take the pistol.
It's a fun round to watch.
Yeah, nice try, but yeah,
pretty good round.
Navi will be the ones to get onto that board first. Even after a bit of a shaky start, it was just some solid utility.
I love a round except for the chamber at the start. No, it really was, yeah.
Maybe realizing that they would have left somebody behind. There you go, yeah, just catching Governor in a pretty awkward position. I will say this is something we've seen before. Flashbacks to Fnatic. They have this youngster who we know is going to play the Sentinel.
Dude, is that after the peak at the beginning? It's either after the peak or in the 1v2. I don't know which.
I think putting someone like him in a more aggressive role is something
for Apex on this one. In terms of Navi, they
it's just whether or not
kind of little.
I think that's what
for an FPX buy on defense, a little bit rough.
A lot of the supportive
it's a little bit scary,
really messy last week from Navi.
Especially when Hero's playing solo A with a gun.
Choke a victory. There's definitely still some hope there, but Apex looked great. Well, especially on Ascent, they look fantastic. So I definitely understand why it was banned.
Okay. Support comes in, 3-person hold. That nade is incredible. Oh my goodness. They tried to 7-nade combo.
Already managed to overrun the site. 20 HP left on Hero and some support coming in from Angel, but these are opportunities that Apex are keen to capitalize on. Navi, they won the pistol by a narrow margin, but by a fairly wide one. They seem to be losing the follow-up. It's only Koala Noob remaining. And as strong as he may be, up or not, this one looks like it's too far gone. Salvos online for the post plant, time already ticking, and you know there's been some recovered weapons. We can see it's fluorescent with a
very nice.
Yeah, that goes exactly as you'd expect.
Yeah, it's such a risky buy. Right, the FPX buy on attack makes a lot of sense. You're more in control of who's where. But when you do it like this, if that one gun goes down,
sure, you get a multi-spray down,
great.
You get your ult online, you're feeling fantastic.
You then back up as just multiple
you take individual fights versus those 5 players rather than playing for the
retake. They get 2 guns into this, or maybe they wanna. Okay, yeah, they're about to get 2 guns into this, but they realize that the win condition of them playing the chambers to get the op, so they save money. And Apex, in my opinion, Navi, in my opinion, kind of messed that up. I don't think you can do FPX buys anymore on defense. On attack, so fine for it. On defense,
on your own map choice,
it just always gets wrecked.
Yeah, maybe as well, thinking back on the previous games they've had, that could be a dent to the confidence. A few more will be needed to knock this squad down, we know that, but it's certainly early days. Alarm bells are ringing. Navi, obviously they've got themselves 1 rifle. The rest of the squad will just be playing with the pistols, and so they don't really have an ability to contest that plant. Maybe even the hope
it's a nice plant for Mount.
Goes down that there's over-aggression,
or
that they can
we were saying that Batu
behind.
likes to use Outlaw and Op a lot.
Batu breaking through this choke point. well, apparently quite easy. Angel's found Malzy.
Yeah, this was the hero gun for Angel, and he's doing damage.
Has to be a recovery, and it looks like Fluorescence there for just that with a fade out on the TP. It's a double stack on down. And that spike, very difficult for Xiao to defuse. He had a chance, but
Armor read by all the guns.
Hammer it home.
Okay, now they get the op out.
Falling back. Make that one at least a little bit more costly, but ultimately they had all the save cash from the last round where they win the second with nothing, so it's not going to do too much in terms of damage. And this is where we need to see the response from Navi, and immediately you are going to get that operator onto Koala. So this is where we kind of need to see the proof of this pick. Because in terms of utility, well,
if you do the FX on defense, yeah, I think people play it wrong as well. I agree with you, but I still just think you should be buying rifles. Okay, so they saved the money for this op, and they set it up over towards C. Now the rotate can go in, and Apex with the bonus, looking like they kind of want to bust over towards B with the info.
Fluorescent is getting a great stun. The follow-up isn't there, though. Angel still able to connect the shot. In the meantime, though, the space has been taken on B, and Avova is creeping his way into the back lines of Navi. That's a danger for later on in the round. For now, he'll be trying to work space and link up with the rest of the squad. 3 players on the other side of the Viper.
If the timing was a bit better, maybe.
They've spotted Avova, and now he's in a lot of trouble, surrounded by players taken down. Malzy, though, makes this again.
It's his ult from this one as well. They got really good money, so I'd like to see him, unless he gets a kill.
Problems because of the deep position,
especially with his HP, like not use it until he gets a kill.
Able to take so much extra space. Trap still online, so they know that if there is anybody pushing, they're coming from that cross angle.
Might get rewarded.
See if anybody gets aggressive. Now knows that somebody is within the site, trapped in and just somewhat waiting for the peak. Hits the timing, and now only Governor stands to face versus 3.
All missiles away.
Swing lined up as well.
Oh my god, fair play, man. That's an absolute shot.
The 3K is denied.
That is an absolute shot. Oh my goodness.
Gun elsewhere. He's got the big green dot on his rifle, and it's landed him the round for Navi. And equalization as well early on needed for this.
You need my opinion on the chamber pick? Dude, I'm chamber pilled, man. I like the chamber. I like the chamber in this map. I think it's in the current meta, I think it's the second best chamber map after Carl.
They can never make anything look easy.
But honestly, if people don't give you picks on attack, you're kind of done for. But it is good on defense on this map. But I also think it struggles a little bit against the Teo. And by a little bit, I mean quite a lot.
No need to bring that right back up into my memory, but...
Hey, sorry, you got to cast Cadaver win at least.
I did, and that did make me very happy.
It's just Enzo who's cast.
Okay, damage, force over towards towards C. We got a punish setup with 3-person door. There's a reason why we don't see 3-person door with no pressure from C, and that's why. That is not the one.
Yeah, Koala's just got to save. They have put everything into this round. Only had one player surviving. Of course, that was him.
3-person aggro door with my C player playing passive.
Put them in the bin.
What?
And obviously, again, we're still talking about that extra little financial boost.
Like, I know maybe they got unlucky timing with the ult. I'll give them that, but it's still
unlikely for maybe one
at least 2-2
hunting.
That's a good spot.
Will mean that they're right back in the thick of it again.
Control for Apex early on, looking very good. Again, the real problem that they had in the previous round was all that control Koala had, like you said, Tom. Navi were able to group
it's
up,
a costly
make
round,
those big
though.
rotations. They were also aware of the flank up from Avova. They also managed to catch Fluorescent coming out of
1-9 loss bonus.
up. I think it was Angel connecting that shot. So there were a couple of things that went right for them, and it still ended up in that, well, it was a 1v3.
I love how Doom Bros is typing, stop the Navi slander, but secretly he's got a giant smile on his face thinking, man, this team's never looked the same since I left. You know he's got the biggest smile, and he's like typing it out. He's actually, guys, come on, give Navi a chance. He's just there just laughing to himself mid-typing. It's wild.
That's not the case, so I think it's a good time to sit back and think about how this match
is guys, come on, please. Please give Navi a chance, guys, come on.
It's been a quiet start for Brooksick, but a very, very early position in this series. Not too damning just yet, but yeah, it definitely seems like the case. If Koala's not able to get himself into a position, it doesn't seem to work out. And this round was basically just a reactive play. Like the Rolling Thunder was thrown into that C site aggressively. They try and catch them from behind, but Apex was so ready for it. And that's the sort of credit I want to give over to Apex from watching their game last week. I think they had a lot of really cool setups, a lot of like great sort of utility usage, but I feel like they were also quite adaptable, which again, when you come in as one of the teams that obviously ascended, lost two of your players, arguably your best players, and then had to rebuild from there, and have then since had changes, I expect it to be shaky. I think
timeout. Let's hope that some of the other rounds have a little
started off great here,
more
so
thought behind it.
Definitely some solid signs. Even Floor was a little bit quiet as well. So you
Koala
get
has the
both
hero
of those
gun
players
saved.
On a par.
They buy a hero guardian
it was argued on the desk
without a
upset
shield.
potential. I might even argue they come in as favorites.
I think I'd be with you. You know, looking back at some of the games that have happened already, there's question marks in my mind
honestly,
coming into today.
They're going into the chamber.
A lot of those are on the side of NAVI for now.
Oh
see if
my
they
god,
found
that's
the solution,
sick, bro.
and well,
that's
is
so
not
sick.
how you want that one
He
to start.
TP's on
Koala
top of the
knew
box
put
and he
to
can
bed
see him getting close
immediately,
angle.
and
No way.
Yeah, indeed,
And they
that was
can't
their
get the gun
operator.
back.
Now you're left with the scraps. Hero at least has a guardian, but already the advantage sitting
Wait,
firmly
that's so
with
sick.
Apex to get themselves a plant, and the post-plant utility is incredibly strong. You've seen it before with the Viper, but having Governor soon to be set of utility alongside an ultimate online.
What's their dude? Their money's gonna be crazy once they win this round.
If it is, they've got that safety net to fall back on, and it's only Navi who are falling at the moment. 4v2.
Last player standing.
Expectations slim to none. Maybe a bit of a confidence boost for Ruxic if he can get on the board,
Really
but he
nice.
cannot. And well, speaking of Molesey's
next big
Rolling
buy
Thunder
rounds,
that was
and they
used
got
not long ago, he's over halfway to getting
tails
it back, so they're doing well to just collect those ultimate orbs, but
This
more
was sick,
importantly,
though.
just farm up these plays. And this is the thing, again, I'm talking about adaptability.
Common chamber play.
This team being able to sort of change what they're doing.
Very nice.
They got caught off in a round by a very aggressive push
It's the only
up.
thing he can do.
He's actually owned him.
It's not even, that's the thing.
Yeah, maybe that's
it's
him
not
calling
even
it
the
then.
prediction
Respect.
coming
I'll
from
give you a
the
tick.
IGL or someone making a read on the game. It's someone who's been over in Americas, been over in Pacific, and now come to EMEA, has the read
That
on
is true.
Koala.
Governor's played
That is
against
wonderful to
the
see. And
T1
again,
comp.
yeah, for Apex, that's how it's felt. They know what's
and
going
they play
on.
chamber every
For
single
Navi,
time on
they need
Lotus.
a very strong opening hand to a round for them to have a chance.
2024
and even then, it comes
T1,
down to the wire. We
played
need
it
to see
every
a
single
turnaround for
Lotus.
Navi, and this is the round where you would see it. They said he can only do one thing. Well, if that was pushing up and holding with an op, he doesn't have that choice. Koala Noob forced down to the rifle. One away indeed from the ulti being pulled through, but he'll have to find that with by more conventional means. With a minute on the clock.
Dude, what are these buy rounds? That look like game plan from Navi is to punish over towards B, like really early on.
I think that's
we
what
saw round
Apex are
5,
going for at this
free
stage.
pass in
You look at
hand
your
to the
opponents having
3-1-1.
a duelist plus
And then we
chamber.
have round
You know
7,
that the
another big
concept
buy
is going to
round,
be to
3
try and
passing
get
over towards
aggressive
B,
and
trying to
find
punish this.
some of those opening picks.
Surely
So if
they
you
don't have the
spot
same
anything on one side
reaction.
of the map, you're going to be a little bit wary that you've lost space elsewhere. It does mean that if your opponents play very passively, as Navi are right now, you are going to burn the clock quite low, looking for this aggression.
Door opens.
And they've ended up finding it. The door opening, attempting to try and
guys have
surround. Batu, it's huge though from Hero. That double drops the spike.
I still
They even
hate
had
their
the
punish
cross
over towards
coming
C.
through
I
with
can't
the
believe they're doing
ultimate,
that
so
consistently.
A problem, that Armageddon.
Especially as they smoke
Spike is gonna be
themselves off
stolen.
as well to make sure
Be
they
able to
don't
be
have to
blocked
worry
for
about
us.
the
This done
smoke,
well.
and then
Koala
Ashley
is
just what has to
struggling at the
send
moment,
it.
eliminated within that A site solo. And
Good reaction
somehow
from
this now
Apex to
comes
take
down
over
to a
towards
chance
site.
again
Obviously,
for
they were
Apex.
trying to pinch
Tom, they were
onto
being
the
played
players
like a
over
fiddle.
towards B once they got the
That
kill.
B push saved the day. Shao finding the pick outside C, got rid of a
Falls in a
big
good
danger,
pulse,
but
and
still,
that is a
the
huge
danger
kill
is
from
lurking.
Avova.
Avova's been the standout player for Apex in
they
so
might not
many of
even
these
consider
moments, and
Floor
you talk
being here.
about clutches. He is someone that's going to win his and shut yours down. A chance for Navi that's slowly fading away. They seem to have seized the day in this round, but instead, it was falling back into Apex's hands. Now it's Avova who has to make good on his promise, and he will not
Nicely done from
find
Shao.
the clutch
Rough
this
Angel.
time. Navi in with a defuse and a much-needed round win.
Okay,
Yeah,
but honestly,
again,
I'm
though,
looking
that
at
comes down
Apex's
to
I'm looking at
two
Apex's
big
money.
individual plays. One of
Dude,
them
Navi are gonna have
is
to win
obviously
like
that
4 in a
double
row.
that came through from Hero at the beginning. Like the timing couldn't be any better. Your opponent has a stun out, but then the biggest is Shao. Like having a read that Fluorescent was still on the other side of that cosmic divide. Otherwise, you're getting backstabbed. And then having a read that the other player has also gone around to backstab you through the same cosmic divide.
Koala
That's
gets
just
the
Shao
ult
having
out.
a solid read
Definitely
in this
gonna be
round.
scared of the drone when you got that.
Talk about recreating creatable rounds, maybe not so much, but hopefully for Navi, that could be the sort of
from
igniter.
Apex.
And more
Looks like they're going to be able to get out for free. Frenzy MX with the Prime. Thank you for the emotes.
Defensive side and going to attack. You're not going to mind
again, with the
much
chamber comps, you kind of need to get like 7 on defense, in my opinion. Unless Apex are going to give him a lot of picks on defense.
If he rotates more passively,
But
this
I
round
don't think
falls
they will,
apart
especially with the Yoru being able to TP
in the back
and
lines.
this gets nothing.
Apex, they had their opportunities, they didn't connect them, but the credits are sitting pretty, even after an
Oh my god, this little bait.
That
Oh god. Dude, it looks so horrible to play the chamber at the moment. They're doing so much good stuff.
Though, will be resetting, and
Yeah,
he's
and
on
they
his way
find
to
out
the
with the
C
chambers.
site.
They still have the trip though. This is the thing that I like from Koala
the
here.
other to give back
They can't
to
just
chance,
leave it as the trip.
expecting that aggression.
The fade ult hits all 5.
Offline for at
Floor
least a few
takes the
seconds.
TP,
There
everyone
has,
can just
however,
react
been a
accordingly.
response with the
They
Nightfall.
open the
That
door
will
to
delay
create
them a
pressure
little
like
bit.
they
You
like,
lose your
pivoting over
sound, you
towards
lose some of
B,
your
which
health.
keeps
You're not
people over
really going to be
towards
wanting
here.
to try and blitz in.
And the
Thing is,
fade
though,
eye just covers
after
all of
expending
this. The only
utility
place
that
it didn't clear
direction,
was this
it's
little
left a
corner
pretty
though.
hefty
I'm
opening.
pretty sure, but
With a showstopper
yeah,
online for
watching
Hero, I wouldn't mind just seeing a retake play from Navi. They
it was
are
nice though.
very
Apex just
quickly
opening the door creates so
high-tailing
much
it
pressure
over
that they could
towards
actually
this
just
A
pivot
side,
over
though.
towards A. It's a cool little
We've seen salvos go down now.
little
Navi
play
should know
from them.
their
As soon as they realize they all get
window
busted
should
over
have
towards
closed in terms of
C,
taking
they just open that door
site
instantly.
control. I see the smoke down on the right.
Fade
There
or-
it is.
sorry,
The Viper's pit in
Viper
place, safely deployed.
even.
Good spam,
How many
but the
agents we
return
got?
is there
Viper all
right
covers
away.
spike,
And the
should be
problem
done.
will be rooting these players from that position. Showstopper, one of the best chances they have, and it's fired in blindly. Not landing, not finding its mark.
Viper, yeah,
And
just
this is the
listen
thing,
all of them.
there is no need for Batu to take any of these fights, especially in
Guys, you
Tree.
gotta go around to
your
open this
back is
door.
secure, and there's plenty of friendlies to take that fight up front. Apex are shredding them. And well, if you want to counter to that big old gun, having to fight through a pit is going to make it pretty difficult to use the tour de force. Koala almost falls on his way back and knows he has to fight to keep that weapon, a fight he
win
does
rounds,
not win.
lose the
And
next.
Apex,
Money's
they
in the bin
maintain
again.
their lead, extending up to a 2-man gap.
Ah, for sure. It is 5-3 in the lead. Again, I think
Apex,
it's
their
the
reaction
mid-rounding
to
that
getting
just
hit with a
looks better from them at this
5-person
stage.
fatal was incredible.
Realizing
Yeah.
after the Nightfall
It's like the
goes
best they could have
through
done, to be
over on
honest.
that C site, that okay, we have lost a huge amount of ground here. It's not worth just sprinting into the site and re-hitting it. Let's go all the way back around to the other side of the map. And yeah, there hasn't been a lot of resistance on it. I think the only round was obviously the pistol and then the retake that we had basically from Xiao. Other than that, it has been a very, very comfortable take of that
aggro over
A
towards
site.
A, they're going to try to
On
set
one
the
man
chamber
that
up
we
and then
sort of
everyone can
highlighted
rotate.
the agent choice, an agent that allows him to, especially on defense, should allow
the
him to pick
chamber
up
up.
quite a lot of numbers. Koala's
Push
been having a
through.
really rough time.
It's been a good read from Apex as well. A couple times now you've seen Koala group with the team. That means that your flank protection, your player that's usually holding that choke point alone, isn't there anymore. Barely making it around the corner against those classics. They didn't expect NAVI to go quite so gung-ho into the angles, but it's worked out wonderfully for Apex anyways. A 3v1, Xiao the last man standing, and a guaranteed
man. It
plant.
doesn't look that good for
and an
Navi
orb
at the
to be
moment.
claimed.
I love what Apex
This will
is
be
doing.
6
I
rounds
like every
unless
single
there's a
round they're playing
big
it
play
great.
from Xiao.
But
From there already. Big numbers on that attacking side with no signs of slowing. A full buy for NAVI in the next, but when you look at ult economy, which is something that I would say they almost need, you certainly want to have on your side at this stage of the game. There's nothing to fall back on.
bro, stop
have to
saying.
do it with the rifles.
Stop saying we,
This
man.
1v3,
He says
but
we usually start
it looks
slow. Come
incredibly
on, dude.
unlikely.
Well, they're also just so patient. They're not over-facing, not taking risks. The post plant normally also has those salvos available. This time doesn't, but it's basically just like, okay, let's make sure that Xiao doesn't even get an opportunity. Apex looking like a well-oiled machine the second they get that plant down. And again, like you look at the composition that is there for NAVI, they actually do have quite a good comp for disrupting a team from getting into those post plants. They just haven't. Like they've been losing pretty much, I would say, almost every opening duel, at least most of them. I think, again, you talk about Koala, like he has been countered, he's been caught every single time that they've attempted these sort of plays. And I think also
Okay, another round with the op.
Talk about basics.
And this time they're going to set the op up, right?
So much better.
And then leave the op. Oh, but they want to go aggro towards A. Ah, he has a
specific
pick
thing,
here.
especially with this being Navi's choice. You have to wonder what awaits us when we move
Moment
to
flash
Haven for
goes
Apex.
in Tether, but they don't do anything off of it.
Some of that early aggression, Navi, or some of the danger of it, I should say, with Fluorescent so aggressively pushed up. Navi fill in the space after, but it's nothing
TP.
but dubs for their side. Every fight going their way. and the spike left in
Hey,
the
Rubble
dirt.
punish.
Apex
Rubble
wanted
punish
that
that
Rubble control.
this comes down to Angels, really.
Unusual way, still being in that choke point by the time Navi pushed through.
Ash Jubilee with the Prime,
Despite
thank you for the
having
3
fluoresced
months.
up so
Thank you,
far,
thank
and
you.
it looks like they're paying the price with this round.
Navi, I
set
think
to
they're
fall
I
into
think
the
they need
hands
the
of
rest.
Navi.
Yeah, the 1-2 punch of Angel and Rooksix should.
Kills here
Job
actually
done
pretty
unless
important.
the jiggle's just off
Yeah, like that's pretty
timing,
important.
and
It's
well,
another
it was-
person that has
it
to
was almost
rebuy. It's
there.
another person
For
that
a second, I
might
believed, but
have
three
no
players
money
alive,
if they lose
definitely
it.
the cleanest round I think we've seen from Navi so far, and I don't mind it. Like, it is, again, it's something, just a call. Like, okay, let's 4-player push up, let's go for those clears, let's take the early fights. Hero doing well in those battles, and that's it. I had high expectations of him on the Raze. I think he's been decent. I think we've seen why they're happy to put him over on
nice
that
early
duelist
timer.
rather than having that additional sentinel.
Not
Also,
messing
we're very
about.
happy to play the retake over on the other side of the map, just leaving Shao there to basically try and play one pick and then having the trap to hold on to B. That's more of the stuff I actually kind of want to see from Navi, because I think that's sort of the thing that's been odd, is like you go back to FPX, you go back to even old Navi teams, and they would run some comps that are outside the meta. But you could always see the idea, you could always see the synergy, and you could always see how they could make those crazy ideas work. I think in the last maybe 6 months to a year, that's not been the case. Either they played default stuff and just not as well as everybody else, or like the last time they played Lotus, they played wacky stuff and you couldn't find where it was supposed to work. This comp, I can see it. It's just been very hit and miss.
Yeah, and I think, you know, looking at the default comp perspective as well, like it's not something that you can't do. It's just that you have to do it perfectly. If everyone comes in knowing your objectives,
I do like this
strengths,
timeout though,
your
right?
weaknesses,
It's
how your
another
comp works
chance
and breeds on
to
the map, then your fundamentals have to be
kinda
perfect,
win
and you better
too.
execute it without any errors. And once the errors are there, people will quickly recognize what they are and how to exploit them, because they've seen it a million times. That's what you study, are those basics. And for Navi, you say, you know, they'll come through sometimes and try
The
something
chamber,
new, but then
I
you
like
almost
it,
wish it was back
but
to basics at those times. So
I think against this comp
how
I
this
play
goes.
it
So far,
more
it's been a
B
round for
because
Navi,
most people
2 for
drone over
Apex.
towards C
The
or
pattern
drone over
has been
towards
there
here.
quite a while.
Like
We'll see
I
if they can
would play
break
the
it.
chamber primarily
Close
like
to the half.
from B,
6
to
and
be
6
honest,
still
majority of the
possible.
time, instead of how they're
Deep
playing it.
Yoru ult,
Or
and they
aggro
will
A, I don't think it can
fall
really
back from
play
the
C
C
against
site
this comp.
completely. A free plant.
The
And this
Teo
is the
does
thing,
own it.
For Apex, if that plant goes down, it is so difficult to take that round. So much time is taken off the clock just by the utility.
Get
of
another
play.
good
They'll
plant
instead try
though,
to
so
get
they
ahead
can
of
just
it,
play heavy
trap
off
these
site. Keep
players
an eye on
on
the
the
luck
side
from
and fight
Batu.
them here and now before they can
Big jaw, yeah, they
retreat,
weren't
but that
expecting it.
doesn't seem to be going well. A
Dude, they got a
dominant
save.
performance from Apex.
Think
And
they
in
got
a
a save.
2v4 now, well, what's the decision? You could see a world where they go and save, but still pushing forward.
You guys have got to save this.
Poison
Yeah.
going down, it is the call
Especially
to leave.
as up over
Definitely
towards
a moment
here.
or two where I didn't mind, again, Navi trying to get ahead of the play, trying to get back into the site, but it definitely seemed like more of a raw push attempted. I think a paint shell thrown into that backline. Just, as I said, once the plant goes down, it seems like there's going to be a solid hold. Molzy attempting to
Dude,
try
this
and
is too
hunt
many
that
rounds
down.
on attack
I'll also
against
say
the
as well, like,
chamber.
Navi got rid of, in my mind, the one massive danger, which was if you got rid of Governor, that was the Armageddon gone, because he got it online from the death.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to matter in the end.
The other thing is Molzy's the guy going
Hey,
aggressive.
probably an easy
he's
call, right?
13 and 6
Just
at
do
the
4
time,
pass
so
and
he thinks,
aggro,
sure,
try and
I
get
can
the
go
orb.
take him down, rob him of a few weapons, but more importantly, that death, had he have gotten a pick first,
Back pause.
that put him 1 away from a Rolling Thunder. So now big ultimates with a little bit of ground take, with an orb seized, you can have not only Governor, but Molzy online with their ultimates as well. Now that's going to be a terrifying prospect
On
to play
paper,
against.
Navi should be good. Yeah. They're
Technical
struggling from like
pause
the.
in here for
I feel
just
like I
before
put
the
Navi
final
and Cake
round of
up
the
in the
half. It might even
same
give the
boat
players
at
a
the
moment
moment.
to take a breath,
They
take
both
a
should be
breather
really
for
good.
Navi. They certainly
both
need it. It has been
don't really
a
like the
feast
Teo.
of breadcrumbs for this squad. 1 round scattered throughout
And
a sea of
I don't know,
Apex
it's still
victories.
early, but
if
it
they
looks like
close
they're
this out
both
8-4
struggling.
as well, Tom. I mean, I know it's a different composition than last time, but Navi looked a lot worse on the attack against KC before. But with the comp they had, they should have.
I'm not so worried about that because you didn't actually have real initiator
attack comp.
utility. Like,
Maybe I haven't seen
you
that much of the Lotus yet.
He had no duelist in the last
Their Ascent's
comp,
really good, though.
They didn't
Their
have the
Ascent's like
Fade,
8.
they only had Teo, so it meant that they had a singular drone to get them info. So
have I ever had a Taco Bell? Yeah, I've had Taco Bell.
Yes. They had the Vice Flash for
Dude, they weirdly have Taco Bell in Iceland.
So I think
we don't have McDonald's, but we have Taco Bell.
Honestly,
but for some reason, it's like joined with KFC, or at least it used to be. I think they might have left Iceland now.
Fine. Like it's very much
used to
workable.
be,
I think they'll still have this sort of lurking koala just to
Taco
basically stop them from getting aggressive. He can still buy the operator and basically hold down sections of the map. It's not impossible.
Same company, yeah.
It's just the manner in which a lot of these rounds have gone. Like you're talking about, okay, the hero got a multi-frag this round. Okay, they had a really aggressive defensive side round, but the actual holds have looked weak and their retakes have not looked good either. So I'm
Chat, why are you guys taking the mic out? How I say Taco? What do you guys do?
Even consider if they'd won the second round,
you the guys that put an R in it that doesn't exist?
Doesn't feel just when you look at the half has gone.
I mean, but if you look back at that, sure, like the pistol was a gap of 15
Taco?
HP. The next round,
on.
the NAVI won was a 1v3 that was
you guys
flipped into a 1v1. And
are looking outward when you need
to
be looking
inward.
inward,
One of his
to be honest,
3 shots that he's
wild.
landed this half.
That was
so.
needed.
No, it wasn't, but it still happened. And I think especially looking at Koala, this is a player that has been the standout for NAVI, yes. And of course the duelist here, the Raze in particular, somewhere that he has had all that success.
Don't start me on the education system out there. I know most of you guys kicking off for American.
Well, that's where it gets a little, just a little
you guys are just randomly adding an R in.
But it is, I think for Apex, like it feels like they've got full control, and that if we are to go down and look back at rounds and go, well, what if that went the other way? Most of those rounds that I think of as being on a knife's edge would be the ones that landed in Navi's camp anyway. So this seems like they've got 4 that they've barely managed to claim, scattering them throughout, no consecutive wins, and also 4 that if we ran those, the end of those rounds back again.
Yeah, it's fun though. You're really tilted.
I liked it. They'd win all 4
okay.
of them. Maybe I'd give them 2.
Let's keep them going.
I'll have to wait and see if they can claim that final round of the half. Operator back into the hands of Koala. One off a showstopper as well for Hero. It's not the worst case scenario.
Okay, Odin on attack.
Buying a throwaway Odin.
Dude, throwaway Odins.
I'm not sure, does that make you happy or sad?
No,
happy that they...
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. They won away from an orb.
It makes me happy because it means that they're acknowledging the
but
power
they
of
late
it,
clear and
but
they should be getting the Raze ult.
It's a great piece of utility, but maybe they're not confident on using it to entry. That's really on them. A little aggression from Navi that we've seen before, and Apex already on that learning curve that they've stepped back, they've conceded that space. Last time Navi went for this hard A push
falls over towards here, but this should be the example that I was saying where they just can't get anything with a chamber over towards C. It just always can get turned off. So I think putting the chamber C 3 times isn't great. Again, I think you should be doing it B. No one defaults B with a drone.
With the drone as well. Like the amount of times that he's been in aggressive position has been completely caught out. Still though, the defense have full coverage. 45 seconds left. B has the trap. You also have the operator still facing in that direction, and while the Rolling Thunder is going to be utilized, but as you said, this is all a ruse, and in fact, it's
but they kind of clear that pretty early, but the rotate is huge. Onto the Yoru. Okay, Hero at least gets good info too. They haven't seen the Omen, I think. That's the only person they haven't seen.
It felt like
Governor
this was the
has
best
salvos and
for
all.
NAVI with a conventional A hold a player up on Ruppel. They had in fact, the showstopper, obviously, they had a huge chance to catch that A push, but they second-guessed themselves. And of course, with the Rolling Thunder on C, you expect that they're committing. Batu's being caught. NAVI on the slow walk, the train, arriving on the A site. And Apex in trouble. Armageddon put into play. It forces works it forward. Angel
one went forward, one went back,
on the same page, and they'll pay the price for it. With inefficient trains, the salvos were there as well just to make it turn from bad to worse, keeping them on the other side of the smoke of Ova with another, but he's still got 2 more to pick up. They're dancing through that smoke.
Oh my god, such a nice try.
That was so desperately close.
That was a really nice try.
But in the end, enough time on the clock for Navi to push up
Dude, they
to
got
5.
It felt like the chamber got absolutely wrecked. But in my opinion, it was a bad game plan.
But it is a round nonetheless.
Had a lot of priority over towards C against the Teo.
I think they'll take that one, nonetheless.
QT with the prime, thank you for the 14 months. Thank you. 7-5, just as I said, yeah, but honestly, I thought it would be this way around. That's normally what you expect. Apex should be pretty happy with that. 5 good enough on defense, not really with a chamber comp, unless Apex are going to give them picks. They might have to, well, I think they have to win pistol. I say might. I think they got to win pistol, Navi. Dude, Apex had some nice mid rounding here though. That's some really cool rounds on them. NAVI had some questionable rounds. Definitely throwing more question marks over towards NAVI than Apex on this one. Gov influence? Yeah, it might be. Mid rounding looked nice. Definitely the plan with the TP up the top to counter the chamber. Good. What do you think about your Apex to Toronto take? I mean, it's less mad now I've seen them play. I'll give you that. Let's see them close this one out, though, because they should close this out. Aslak with the Prime, thank you for the 6 months. If they can't close this one out, then I'm worried.
Welcome back, folks. 7-5. It's been a bit of back and forth.
What's even the point of not playing the Tail right now?
Shaky start. They've managed to
still might not be a believer, I guess, but
to make this look doable. Moving on to
the
attack.
I gotta
previously they won
start
1 out of 7
questioning you if you're not a believer.
up against KC and kickoff. But again, with this composition, I don't foresee them having as much trouble. But with the performance so far, Tom,
Shazam, stop flaming chamber, dude. It's good on this map. It's just they played it wrong.
We'll see if they come to light for NAVI, or if this can be a return to form.
I'm telling you, if they had put it here, like 8 out of 12 rounds, and the other over towards here,
on the defense,
with the TP here, and they actually went aggro,
kind of the
like it would have been a lot
you
better.
will have these group ups of 4 and then leaving Koala hold on to positions. For now, though, they're actually going to aggressively fight forward. It's not the worst start, but Governor able to get to a good stun coming out of the Apex side of Over, realizing that this is not worth fighting anymore. You already have the player advantage. And just wanting to
always defend the chamber? Yeah, I still think the chamber's good, but honestly, the chance of chamber getting played since the Teo came in really decreased, man. Teo just completely owns chamber in multiple ways.
NAVI stopped completely in their tracks around Mound.
I think there's a magnet on Koala where the charge is like, I'm gonna get you. Like just following him around the map. I think he's had to shoot it every single round. Governor really is in his head.
Calm.
Nicely done. The
Real
blast
calm.
pack in from Hero, but Fluorescent didn't take the bait. Dealing with the problem of Xiao first, and well, that's enough flashes.
Really, really nice.
That's not something
Dude,
that NAVI could have imagined
really
in the last time they played this map.
The thing I love that is we have the POV of Governor shooting there. I only realized it afterwards. It's like pew 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 pew, and then Fluorescent's killing everyone. Like, yeah, I got them all. I got them. Oh, why didn't my kills go up?
Our upper's dead, buddy. Locked in.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're locked in nonetheless. Apex with a pistol under their belt. But hey, NAVI saw the
It is 1-1 for the pistols. Obviously, they got ecoed when they did the weird FPX buy here on defense.
They can look
and doesn't
the same
work great.
success. Now, I think Apex are not giving up A main in quite the same way that their opponents were, looking to battle for it a bit more, a bit much perhaps from Fluorescent, but that's because the gate crash was online. Got their info early that there's players outside A, but they seem to think that it could be a bit of a fake, a bit of a maneuver from the NAVI squad. They might even be right.
The thing is, there's so little to play with in this round.
They got 3 bullets.
I also
That's
say
about
that
it.
The way that second round was lost in the first half was maybe some of the NAVI players slightly overfacing. I don't think we've really witnessed that at all from Apex. They've been looking much more synergized in terms of their play, and there we go again. I'm telling you, the drone is tracking only Koala.
What's on the EMEA team's not using Phantom as much?
To the wrong sort of animal.
Honestly, I haven't really noticed it.
Well, I think as well, though, you know, he's the
Only
guy
like
that's always going to be
1
holding
weekend.
that gap of space, an absence of info, and of course that's where you send your drone in. The problem is, because they saw him, that they think that it could still be that A hit. You've seen Viper rotate over just in case, knowing that there was just one, but with the wall still available, and the information coming at a much heavier cost than I thought it would. Governor's being eliminated immediately, and now this is fairly similar to what we saw from NAVI. One player on the site can't afford to be isolated, but does delay them slightly with the util.
Wait, they're pivoting back to B, 15 seconds as as we can see on the minimap, it's incredible. Does Avova consider it? Yes, he does. He has flash. Do they want a fast flood? No, they don't. No, they get the plant.
It's a risky play,
and they got the luck over towards tree. Wait, this is kind of scary now.
The B site is so much better for them. They can get in these close range angles. They can play that post plant nicely, although not having a mass amount of utility. The boom bot.
Wait, hit that shot.
Paranoia is not bad. Trap yet to be utilized, but not wanting to give away the positions. Everything here comes down to that time. A chance for Hero to find some damage, but not expecting the second player to be here. Koala as well, still having a bullet or two left, but already somebody on the diffusal. They need to get in there,
just full stuck here. Okay, nicely done. Just double vision block. Play too many off of the site. Double vision block, wall and smoke. Very nice.
I'm going to assume he ran out of bullets.
Yeah, probably. Well, they
still
were
a nice mid round from Angel.
It's possible, just unlikely.
Got a little bit scary with the time,
9 to 5. Apex do well to find that, but that was actually quite nice from NAVI. Just pure chaos. The way they play the A main, go back to C, go back to A, and then route their way into tree. And with 15 seconds left, open the door and run back to the B side. Again, huge risk, and it didn't work out in the end. But you can see the idea, and you can see that had Apex have chosen different routes back into the site,
plant and 2 kills. Yeah, with just classics, that's not bad.
It's better than the expectation coming into the round, so
100%.
Yeah, they've done a good job. Problem is, 4 rounds behind, and if they don't win this round, then all that good work goes out the window.
Yeah, especially with the weaknesses here and there.
Canub with the prime, thank you so much, bro. Thank you. You take a lot of map control, Apex here.
Doesn't even have
some
any shields
BBL
alongside. It really
Liquid.
is saving for a rainy
I think
day.
BBL messed up the veto slightly, and Liquid had a really good defense.
Fully online. The one interesting thing is if this comes to a late round,
Liquid had a lot of fought into
the
2 maps that I think they fought were very
available
likely.
for Fluorescent. The chance for her to get her team the info if they're in a winnable spot. I don't think you're going to see that ultimate thrown in just for fun. But with how much aggression she's already got on the A site and the look that it's going to be a C site hit, the 2 players there are going to have to do a lot of work. Although,
lovely timing on this.
Snakebite timing.
Open the door to create pressure. You're going to Prowler this, or are we sending it?
Second guess things a little. Maybe it should. There's quite a few players here now.
They've picked up the first, not ready for Governor perhaps, but Hero is
on
the ball. They're not spotting Avova though.
God, imagine he got the
kill has put Apex in a decent spot considering the round that they're in. An outlaw in play, but everyone's 150 full shields. And well, the weapon not reloaded on the peak is probably the biggest issue of all. Fluorescent, well, now it comes down to tidying up. It's housekeeping. Can they pick up 1 or 2 extra kills? The round looks quite difficult to find, and indeed they've got a beautiful little stack up. The flash will not catch them either.
Nice.
2 players in water hiding behind the walls.
So they got 2 kills though.
Aware of
Should be happy with that. It's alright bonus. Could have been better. Could have been worse.
Decent from the side of NAVI. Because as I said, a lot of those rounds have been messy even towards the end. I was looking at Fluorescent, who's currently 16-9. Going up into a 1v3, and there was still a part of me that thought that maybe she could take it over the line. But this is the thing. They are now going to go in with full rifles, dimensional drift still available, not utilized in the last round.
You think a KO player will now throw the flash on the floor, kind of like Yoru? No. The right click was the thing that got buffed the most.
With not a whole lot of extra.
The left click is purely for ranked people, really.
Full sprint all the way up. The problem is, to do that with 3 players and still have a player on B, you don't have that traditional sentinel, means the A site is quite open.
The KO right click, like underhand throw, got the biggest buff ever.
Now players making it to the door, that wall soon to fall. That's going to open up a window for them, and it's free. Angel caught off guard.
No way. No
has keep herself alive and confirm that
big jewel from Avova. Yeah, everyone locked in. Oh my goodness, how?
Such a great follow-up though. NAVI, oh, that's a heaven sent of a round for them. We're back into winnable territory. 1 picked off on the cross though. Rooksik 11 HP and Hero on 66. But he lands a headshot
that is, and Hero gets
the tide
and Hero
right
needs
back
to
in their
use
favor. Showstopper already online before that kill. And now, well, that will be a beautiful safety net, maybe even used here just to close it out. But this is Avova after all.
Okay. I was going to say, Avova needs to somehow get the ult out of them without touching the spine.
To try and bait the opponent, and he's just going to go jumping
very nice from Hero.
Okay, it needed to be
what a close round this was. 11 HP, 28. I think some of those splash damage from his ult.
Solid round from Hero. I said, I think whatever expectations you had from NAVI coming into the map, seeing him on a duelist, I was always thinking there would be big things. Second top fragger in the server at the moment, second only to Fluorescent, which I think that's acceptable when you've been playing Sentinel for about a year.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. Good shit.
Good to see that Koala's still in high spirits. I think that is the thing I really like about Koala, is even if he's not having the best of games, it still seems like you'll cut to the cams and the vibes are still there. That's something he's brought over from Americas, I feel. I don't know if the EMEA guys are quite as positive.
It's like the old school Juggernaut.
Clearly you need to pump up Hero more if he's going to be doing stuff like that.
Yeah, keep it up, whatever just happened. That is a wonderful opening. Blast pack into just a dry swing on Governor, who has no idea what's coming. Weaker weapons indeed, and well, they had no chance in that duel, as we can say for Fluorescent and Avova. A quick shutdown on the redirect to the C site. NAVI find themselves walking into an open site. Well, depending on how quickly they get there, Batu has rotated in. It's the last remaining player for Apex in this round. Claiming this would be
he's got some damage done.
He looks back on for many
armory
years to
buy,
come,
that's it. Yeah, this might get close. That's a lot of money.
For NAVI.
Looking
One
like the
round
first half,
behind
really.
now, very nicely recovered from this squad, who seemed to just be clawing for any foothold in that first half. Now they very much got their act together.
Seems like put the guy from the Turkish league back on duelist. Good strat. Not bad. Good strat.
Not bad. Top fragging now.
Took that one straight out of the Fnatic handbook.
Okay, another op dropped though.
Funnily enough, their opponents also did it for a game with Batu, so...
What is this?
We've seen this one before.
4-person holds and just have the op watching this. Okay.
Game.
Look like they expected a fast B.
Batu's just spotted a sneaky Ruxic, maybe trying to get into the backline, or at least trying to
They
sell
were
the
so
idea.
out of position, but this is still nice from Na'Vi, right? Omen all over towards spawn, pulls the rotates away, they then get C sides. You can see 3-person walking through, and they might have overcooked this one. Could have kept it nice and simple, as we can see.
The problem now is that the fake has done better than the take.
Yeah.
I mean, little do they know, the take actually worked wonderfully. You sacrifice a player and that
what's
whole
the call
half
now?
of the map is wide open, but you'd be foolish to go running in as if that were the case. They don't know that the gate crash was used towards the C site. They don't know that only now has that op rotated back into the A site. So they've taken their time waiting for opportunities. Those opportunities never came. So they step up. I will say, risky to shift walk up in this space where they know there was an op before, and with Governor waiting eagerly for Heroes roundabouts, there will be no flank. It all comes down to the site take, and it looks like they're moving towards B. Probably better to avoid the operator.
Win this round on B.
Let's see if they have a better time against Batu.
Batu seems well aware of this potential. It's whether or not they can maybe spot an angle from above. Missed shot. That was an opportunity, and now with the remaining players still having that Armageddon online, this is a seemingly an easy setup. Not even going to use it. Salvo's attempted to at least try and chunk a bit of damage. I believe that Xiao did take a slight hit, and then the patience from Fluorescent has put NAVI back into a horrible position. But here comes Xiao. He's been a little bit quiet, tried his best to bring that round back. But it's not going to be the case.
I mean, the overall idea from NAVI was nice. But Apex kind of called the bluff, and Floor
at least able to afford an investment out of this. It's certainly not lost yet. That's just one little hiccup, but they managed to put 3 rounds in a row on the board. A repeat of that would be wonderful, and that's exactly what they're going to come in looking for. Calling a timeout here to touch base with Happy, with their coaching staff. See if they can find an easy solution to some of these problems. But here on the attack, it hasn't looked that terrible. I think the fact that Fluorescent finds an opening pick and is able to escape out is just the nature of that operator and that Yoru, and the fact that they move back towards A after the plant, and
they've done alright to get it a little bit closer.
Ideal either. Those 2 op shots landing,
Did Apex win last week? And they won Ascent.
Big performance by Xiao
they
on the
lost
site. There's definitely some hope
Icebox
to draw from that.
I'm
The
trying to
first
remember
half,
the
I was
other
certain
map
this was going to look a lot more dominant, just because of how strong Apex were playing, and now honestly it felt like Navi were getting a little lucky in some of the rounds they were winning. This time, I don't think that's the case. They've earned that early contention in the half, but they still have to make up for that gap in rounds from the first.
Yeah, and it's also now, I don't mind the pause here, coming in from Happy, an attempt to talk through with the squad. Like you said, the deep playing operator, it kind of sold the, like the whole idea was to basically try and push all of these players over to the C site. But when you have that operator from Fluorescent, she can hold across so many different angles.
Forcing down to Nico, they don't get to buy 3 guns.
Pacey with it, or you still have to use utility. So I can't expect that we're going to see those
Only
same sort of
here
bruises attempted
nice.
by the side of NAVI. And then coming into this round, a couple
Wait, they're
of
going for the pinch?
incredibly close. Being online again, we're going to see this aggressive push up. An immediate usage of that Armageddon, trying to force them into the hands of Over, and that's exactly what they've done. Angel's not going to survive it. It all hinged on a kill coming out from Hero. Xiao has at least got rid of Fluorescent, though.
They either push forwards or they push back into the double swing.
Angel is that maybe they wouldn't have put the ult all the way into the corner.
You don't have anywhere else to go at that point.
Yeah, it was run into the choke point with the spike was an opportunity.
They got really good set ult rounds, to be honest.
More annoyed
we were talking about it on Icebox, right? They had some nice set ult rounds.
And found by NAVI with a slow shift
and then also on this was awesome.
Not expecting them to still commit to this angle, and Evova's the one to find the info. At least gets a paranoia out of them. So somewhat less utility for NAVI to work with, but post-plant Astra can still do quite a lot.
I like this from Gov though. He's just clearing over towards B. He's going to lay great pressure over towards Mount.
To be used. Trying to keep a couple of pockets of space. Try and use that surprise element. Could make things that little bit more awkward. Obviously that time is already ticking and Koala's been forced off the
Oh my god, that's sick though. Molly into salvos, and I think Koala might have just re-stepped back into the molly.
But instead is found by an opponent, although that time is ticking.
Wait, that's
can only
sick.
Get one. Solid trading, but more importantly,
I think
solid
Koala messed up. I don't think he realized how much HP he was on after the salvos. I'm pretty sure he went back into it.
Came back off an ult and off.
We'll probably see in the replay.
Yeah, they've done
that was
really
nice.
well.
That was good util.
Salvos
Salvos into Molly.
Easy when he picks up the 3K, but the way that he does it, that choke point was being watched. They had Xiao hiding inside, waiting.
It's a great round from Apex, this one.
Well, that one was doomed from the start.
Yeah.
But the snake bite, I didn't realize he was that low. Not ideal. Hidden inside the smoke. It's like a trap.
That was the thing. They forced him into that position because of where the salvo was and because where other utility was thrown, and then he just steps back into it. So a bit of an error, but also there wasn't really any space that Koala could go back into. Viper's Pit immediately utilized outside of C. Now they do have
you can force through this.
And a showstopper. So if they wanted to clear this, they could. It seems
like
the plan
force
instead
through
maybe
this
to
with
go
a
back
razor.
towards B.
Can be very effective here as well if they decide to deploy it. Looks like just a straight push in with the showstopper. Hero chasing them down. Stuns caught him. Governor's not gone terribly far, but I think he'll be safe there. Depends how deep Hero put that shot, and indeed he's lost a lot of HP, but survives on 50.
Keep an eye on the Xiao luck.
Good start. Look at this late
I might get a lot for this.
They're already retaking control towards the broken door.
Kind of like how Batu's playing this as well. Late luck over towards C. We've got luck on luck at the moment.
Then their opponents might expect them back into this retake.
The thing is they've got like a double luck. An aggressive play. Hero ends up taking out his IGL. Removing him from
Hero's made up for it with the shots.
Ends up trading out those remaining spots, and I actually really like that post plant from NAVI. I think the fact that they don't just sit back and allow their opponents to retake.
It's nice when Xiao's there as well.
Deep towards B main, they leave another player out towards A main, wrapping him behind. But they realize, okay, if we just stay on the
Koala
side,
get to buy an op on defense this map? Yeah, like
angles.
4 rounds, maybe even 5 rounds. He maybe bought it like 3-4, but had into like 5 rounds. Saved a couple.
Might look a little bit silly, but I think again, it's just Angel trying to be as disruptive as possible and give his teammates a good opportunity.
Yeah, I was worried that would be the first domino. I mean, he was a bullet away from taking down Governors. A fair play for just standing in.
Oh boy, that fade eye is.
Now opens up onto Fluorescent. You have to note that
was this the one that's here? The one that's like in the wall?
Between them and NAVI.
That fade eye is so strong.
To close in. We've seen them juggle the weapons right back.
Prowler goes out, creates a lot of pressure over towards it. Instant group up. It's a nice shot.
Or rather stolen, I suppose, by NAVI. No way for Apex to claim that back without a very deep push indeed. Already down to a 3 versus 5. 2 players on the B site, but not going to be close enough to cause any damage. And you can see the respect they give that
looking at the
orb,
next
just
round.
scared a snake
You're
come in and steal the round away.
Got breach
with Batu's utility so far, I think that's a fair.
Against nothing. And they're pretty far away from ults as well.
It's also you run through
Apex,
a
man,
poison orb,
they're
and
actually
on the
in
other side, someone has
the
an
position
SMG,
to win
even
it.
a pistol,
Not this
a
round,
shotgun,
obviously, but
like it can be incredibly rough. Governor
Really?
at least managed to find one. The salvos will give him a 1v1 fight, but wasn't expecting Shao to be that far forward. And with the spike now making its way to the back of site, don't really see any real opportunities. Of course, Batu with a gun in hand. They had 2 for this round. One of them was Fluorescent dying within the first 5 seconds or so, just attempting something incredibly aggressive.
They're going to look for the other weapon.
Yeah, I think that has been juggled very far away, but Mosey doesn't really have anything to lose.
Where's that rifle? Yeah, I think he's so stunned.
Yeah, he's like, what?
Like,
well, I guess I gotta go die.
It fell through the floor? Call a pause.
I like the idea that
just juggled it back.
Fluorescent is going, no, that's where I went down. That's right there, right there.
You open?
And then Mosey's going, it's not here. Not here. Where? Right there. Look again. Look again.
Oh, I like the stun. Trying to keep them contained. Oh, there's the rifle, but no chance to run away. Spike will claim him.
Little chamber.
Assist for chamber.
Chamber
as well.
assist.
Happy with that little stat
Sometimes
padding.
you gotta take the freebies.
NAVI, they really came in on shaky foundations. That first half, it looked like it could have went either way. And if it went the other way, it would have been Apex already closing this out. But now, 1 round behind, and the attack side
I love the
good.
love the timing of the timeouts at the moment.
Rounds have gone their way, and I don't think
because they can just have a great plan here.
Like insane that we look at and go, there's no way they could do that again.
They could do something aggro at the beginning, but probably too obvious, so they could definitely play like retake over towards the side if they wanted. They know they're up against an attack op, so they don't have to like peek anything if they don't want to as well.
Like I said, it'll be about those lurks and holding down
they got
any
killed by the
aggression that can be thrown
fades.
through, and you kind of
as
have that
well, so they
expectation
could
when your
spam
opponent
it
is
if they
running
wanted to go
this
aggro A.
breach, Teo, Yoru. You want to try and have set plays. You have all the pieces to get yourself information and
still
then
win it.
set up
Their
into
ult's under
something.
I mean, they're
Well,
in
if
control.
your opponent is holding angles with
Like
an
these two
operator, you can't do that as much. You have to know exactly where they are, and well, so far, I think Koala's been quite dynamic. The other factor has to be, though, that it does seem like, well, Hero, Xiao, Angel have all been having a solid game. Hero especially. As said, it's been quite a while since we've really expected this guy to be playing a duelist, but it's good to see that it doesn't look like there's any rust there whatsoever. Up there, top fragger within the server, and I guess the main sort of difference here, and probably one of the reasons why Apex have timed this ball so well, is they come in with 3 ultimates. 2 of them can be combined together, especially alongside those salvos. So I have high expectation that Apex are not just going to be sitting back this round.
Oh, okay.
It's
Dropped it at the end.
Heroes managed to shake off that rust coming into round 22.
Dropped it as they decided to go aggro over towards A. This time they change up their fade eye, and they were maybe expecting the same fade eye up on the wall, but this time they did the deeper fade eye. Hey, what though? Trades are kind of nice.
Around A main, attack or defensive side, they lose opening duels. It looks like it's slipping away, and he's the one to step up and put that performance through. Got his Rolling Thunder as a result, but also went down. So that'll be for a future round. 3v3, and the pressure onto Fluorescent, not with an operator either.
HP.
So those headshots might be necessary as they cross out, and it's a clean opener.
She's done her job. Just needed to get the pick and get out of there. Good opportunity still for a post plant, and HP already low. I feel like there was a temptation from
pressure on every single angle, and
get a little
they
bit
gotta
more
get some map
aggressive.
control.
Dimensional drift is going to give them every single piece of information they could ever need, and actually
Smoke to hide around though. This was nice.
This could be perfect.
Yeah, they just instantly take over towards the side. The Omen flash means they don't hear the TP out of there.
Doesn't quite manage to
kind of just locked in though.
Still standing as Ruxic, trying to dance
very
within
nice
the
from
smoke,
Apex
so
on this
will
one.
not survive any longer. Again, solid support utility. Apex now 1 round away from taking their
Apex,
opponent's
2
map
chances
choice.
to steal Navi's map. It's a huge.
No matter what, you can say Navi, they look a whole lot better. The work they've put in, the rethinking of how they approach this map, even just from the get-go, in terms of the agent comp that they've brought to bear, it looks so much better than it did before.
The problem, though, is...
I'm not sure what that was.
I think, I have a feeling the governor thought Fluorescent got that knife.
The knife,
and,
yeah, I think so.
I
as
got
well.
a little bit overexcited, but I appreciate the support governor gives to his teammate Fluorescent.
Dude, and it's on Koala, who should have been doing this on defense. That's sick.
The re-swing, definitely feeling confident in her ability, while maybe a little bit
lovely
too
trade
confident,
though.
still,
Oh my goodness, trades on trades.
It's back to a 3v3.
So they call to go A, tap spike, go A.
They're taking their time.
Oh, Astro, just plant B.
Cosmic Divide utilized once
Dude,
again
Mozzi's
just to
gonna
make
wreck
sure
them
they
with
can
all
get
here.
safely
Oh
into
god,
that post.
Angel.
Oh, maybe not.
Again, man.
Why?
Mozzi's had a great game. That's
Just push for his own ult
right
over towards heaven.
Yeah, it is. It's not fantastic as the strategy goes, but this is the Brimstone main that's known for just the same kind of play. Ruxic is in a smoke. They haven't seen him, but they are shredding him. The knife attempt again. This time it's Batu, and it's the utility to claim the kill. Ruxic last alive.
Damn,
and the
dude,
Spams
okay,
give
nicely
him
done from
away
Apex.
a
I've
clean
got no
response
idea what
from
Angel's doing
Apex.
there because they have full
13
control of
to
A
10.
as
This
well.
was
Full
their
control,
opponent's
full control of B
map
site,
pick, and they came in
full
looking
control of
strong. A
A,
resurgence from
full
Navi in the
control
second,
of
but
Hobbit,
not quite
and he
enough. They'll
pushes
need
the
the
ult
reverse
over
sweep
towards
starting
heaven.
on Haven.
Can't
Starting
even
on
fathom it.
Apex's map pick. Starting after the break.
Nicely done to Apex. Actually look better.